Hi guys, my name is Portia. Welcome back to my channel. So first off, I want to say thank you and happy Nurses Week to all of the awesome nurses out there, and happy Teacher Appreciation Week to all the teachers out there. So today's video is going to be about my experience when I shadowed a CRNA. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned. Okay, so the first things first, where did I shadow a CRNA? So I shadowed a CRNA at my current facility where I work. From my understanding, you're not allowed, or other hospitals don't like or don't allow a dying employee to shadow CRNAs. So I did at my local hospital on my day off the clock, of course. And the process to do so, which I thought would be relatively easy or simple, wasn't. So usually when I had to figure out who to reach out to, because I'm doing this at the time it was about 2 years ago when I first decided I wanted to shadow a CRNA. And at that time I was doing it only because I wanted to see like what is a CRNA? What do they actually do? Because in my mind I'm thinking, okay, if a patient's under anesthesia, how are you doing nursing? So that was what I wanted to figure out. That's what I wanted to see, just what they did. And so that was why I decided to actually shadow. It wasn't because I was getting ready to apply to school. It wasn't for school. It was just for my own personal reasons. And so the process was I didn't know who to contact. I didn't know who to reach out to. I didn't even know where to begin. So what I did was I went on my hospital's website to the anesthesia department, and I just started emailing anybody that was anesthesia HR. And finally someone replied back, and they gave me the contact for another person who I reached out to. And then that person got me in contact with, I want to say, the director of CRNAs or something in CRNA in the OR. And so that person reached out to me, and we set up a day for me to come. So they recommend that I come in the morning at 6:45. That way I could see how their day actually started. So I got there at 6:30. And the lady who I was supposed to be meeting was off that day, and she forgot that she told me to come that day. So she told me to meet her in the anesthesia lounge. So I got directions from people that I just saw in the OR, down in the OR, and they showed me where to go. So I sat there and I waited 6:30, 6:45, and then I was like, okay, I better call her. So I called her, and she was actually at home, and she had forgotten that I was supposed to come that day. But she was able to reach out to someone else who came in the lounge and got me, and then she paired me with a CRNA. So how my day started. So first we went to the patient to do pre-op. The patient was already in pre-holding, so we went to ask questions about medical history, medications, and what she was on that day, any allergies. So the patient that day was getting an AV fistula. She was an older black lady. So we asked her questions about her health and everything, and then I was just there shadowing. I didn't say much of anything. I just greeted the patient as I normally would. And after the CRNA that I was shadowing finished her questions, then I stayed back and let's talk to the patient, because you can tell she's a little, anxious. I mean, it's surgery, of course. Anybody would be a little nervous the day before, or the day of. So I was there with her, asked her questions, talked about her family. She was talking about her children and her grandchildren, and how they all called her and came to see her the night before. So it was actually pretty cool. So after we finished there, we went and got our room set up, got all the medication set up. We got our fluids spiked and lines prepped and whatnot. So the surgeon who was doing the fistula is an old school surgeon. He doesn't want his patients to be under. So she was on stuff like propofol and Precedex during the procedure. She had to get a nerve block, of course, because it was going to be in her arm. And from what I can remember, that block was done by the anesthesiology resident, not the CRNA. So after we got our room prep, that's when the patient came in, and we started to hook her up to all of the medications. And I don't know why, but I could tell that she felt comfortable that I was there. The CRNA was a Hispanic lady, which I worked in South Miami, South Florida. So my hospital, majority of the nurses, workers are either islanders, like Haiti or Jamaica, or South American by heritage or their nationality. And the patient I mentioned was a Black lady. And so because she wasn't actually under doing surgery, periodically she would wake up. And whenever she would wake up, I can tell that she was like, she would look for me. And as long as I was there, she felt, I don't know, like relaxed, and she went back to sleep. So while she was asleep and I was talking to the CRNA, asking her about her profession and what she think and her advice and what CRNAs actually do. And I mean, I met that day 3 CRNAs, and they were all females. They were all so nice and welcoming, and they all said the same thing, that they love their career, that anybody that want to do it, that they should do it, and that I should actually go for it, and I should do it and not worry about what anybody has to say, and don't worry about it because school is hard. Yes, school is hard, but it's worth it in the end. They were also nice, giving advice. And then I was able to actually see what CRNAs do. So at this time, I'm still a med-surg nurse. I haven't moved to the ICU at that time. So the patient had like a lot of just monitors. Okay, so you have your A-line, you have your O2, your blood pressure, you have everything going on the patient, and you have them on if the patient's under like anesthesia. So that's when I saw like, wow, okay. So this is nursing, but at a whole different level. Like instead of me being able to talk to my patients, say, are you in pain? Are you okay? How are you feeling? I'm having to use their vitals in this machine for them to talk to me and say, okay, if their blood pressure is high, are they in pain? Are they not tolerating the procedure? Like what's going on? What's going on with the patient? So it's like you have to have like this heightened sense of perspective and critical thinking. And I was like, what? Like, yes, this is for me. Like this is what I want to do. Like that day, I was 100% convinced that CRNA was what I wanted to do. However, I left that day back on the med-surg floor and was like, is nursing really for me? And then I did more research, and I just kept seeing all this stuff about people who got into school, had like a 3.8, 3.7 GPAs in nursing school. And I was like, okay, well, you know what? I can't compete with that. My GPA is not a 3.8 or 3.7. So I talked myself out of it. You don't know how many times I went back and forth from doing it to not doing it. And every time I decided that I wasn't going to do it, I said, okay, I'll do NP, I'll do PA. But when I started researching all those other acronyms, it just didn't fit me. It just wasn't for me. So back then I didn't really have the motivation and the compassion and the drive that I do now to go full force with it. So yeah, that was my experience at shadowing CRNA, and I would advise anybody who is thinking about it or want to do it, definitely shadow a CRNA. And my plan was to shadow again this summer. However, I spoke to a CRNA last week at work because I work in neuro ICU, and so our patients come from OR to the ICU after surgery. My patients who've had brain surgeries, spinal surgeries. And she said, yeah, she was like, you can come shadow, but you can't do anything. All you can do is really shadow. And so I've already did that part. I wanted to go a second time, actually like get in there and do stuff. Not give medications, but like maybe not give medications, but maybe do like pre-op, like talking to the patient or helping to set the room up. I don't want to just stand there and follow somebody around all day. So if that's what it's going to be like, then I probably won't do any more shadowing. I'll just use my first experience, which was an awesome experience, as my CRNA experience for my application. So yeah, guys, that was my CRNA experience, and I enjoyed it. I recommend it. I learned so much from it, and this is just for me. So I know I'm on the right track. So yeah, I'll check out my shirt. Nurses Speak, of course. All right, you guys, that's all I have for you today. If you have any questions or comments, leave it down below. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.